Hey guys, Ralph Ciancio here, and I want to take just a couple minutes to give you a snapshot, a look, a peek at what we can expect in the Toronto Real Estate Board for 2022. Now, if you haven't watched a quick recap video on what took place in the real estate market in 2021, be sure to look back and see. It's just a 2 or 3 minute long video that'll break down some of the macroeconomic factors that took place through 2021. Obviously, nobody has a crystal ball, and that's why I want to take a little bit less of a focus on what to expect in the real estate market for 2022, a little bit more onto what do you need to look out for. What are the critical things that you need to be aware of? You know, I've had a couple of days off over the break, and I've been binge watching a lot of animal videos. And as I'm watching these videos, I see packs of animals and they stick together like herds. They're all there together and there's safety in the herd. And every once in a while, something will tweak their ear, and it could be a predator hiding in the bushes, and then they all make a move. So what I want to take a few minutes to focus on, what are the things that you as a consumer, as a homeowner, as a potential buyer for real estate in the GTA, what are the things you need to listen out for that could cost you your life? Not really, but the life of your investment anyways. The federal government has already inoculated, they will raise interest rates, and they expect to do it 5 times next year, starting at the end of Q1. What does that really mean? Basically, they're saying, hey guys, expect that interest rates are gonna go up by the end of March or beginning of April. Now, those statements were made basically in September and October, and a little bit in November, but we saw the entrance of Omicron, and I think that that's gonna change the tone of fiscal policy in the start of 2022. Whereas without the variant, I think interest rates were ready to be increased quite quickly, which would have a downward pressure on demand. It should. But now with the variant, I do think that there's gonna be a delay in any fiscal policy raising interest rates. If you're a homeowner, it's probably a good thing for you as house prices will continue to rise. If you're a home buyer, may make it a little bit more challenging as interest rates remain low, the demand will be high, and I do expect house prices to head up. What are the lions that are hiding in the bushes that you need to pay attention to? I think first and foremost are gonna be the results of COVID. So COVID as a number, those are things that will have a global impact on the values of properties and the behaviors of people worldwide. That's number one. I think we've talked a lot about COVID. Number two, interest rates rising. Again, that's gonna have an adverse effect on house prices. But I think the thing that I'm most cautious of as we approach 2022 is gonna be either federal and provincial policy, in specific taxation and policy about housing. Now, what does keep me up at night is the idea of Prime Minister Trudeau waking up one day stating that the gains on your principal residence could now be taxable. As it stands right now, any profit, any gains made on the home you live in, your principal residence, is tax-free. If you bought the home you live in for $500,000 and it goes up to $2 million, you have $1.5 million in profit, all tax-free. If it was an investment property, half of that gain, that $1.5 million, would be taxable. That means $750,000 would be taxable at your tax rate. So that's big bucks. Up until now, your principal residence is tax-free, but I do know that the government loves money and they love tax. This is the easiest way. It's the biggest tax opportunity for the federal government, would be taxing your principal residence. Now, what this would cause would be a rush to the market from a lot of baby boomers and a lot of people who own their home and have a lot of gains in their principal residence. It would rush for them to sell their home. That would cause an immediate collapse in the pricing of real estate, as supply would be high, demand roughly the same, prices go down. Now, it's a far stretch. They have been talking about this for many, many years. As a matter of fact, in my university days, this is what I wrote my thesis on in my 4th year, studying real estate and economics at the University of Guelph. So I studied this law in the federal government. I know it quite well. I think that that's an immediate threat that you can keep an eye on. Taxation on principal residence, and the other one would be a limitation of foreign buyers purchasing properties in Canada. In Trudeau's political platform, he stated that that's one of the tactics he would do to cool the real estate market. Affordable housing is something that people have been talking about for 150 years. Believe me, you can find articles on affordable housing that is 150 years old. The problem's not going away. Really has to do with population growth It could be either naturally, people having more babies, or people coming to our country. They can't make any more land, they can build more houses on that land, but as more people come to the country, you'll find that the demand for real estate, especially in urban centers, is going to continue to rise. So what does that mean for real estate in the GTA for 2022? I do suspect that house prices are going to continue to rise. I do think that as the tail end, so we'll talk about, basically second, third, and fourth quarter, more so the third and fourth quarter, which is basically from September to the end of the year, you're going to see prices starting to level off, probably due to the fact that interest rates would have already gone up a few basis points by then. I started off the video by saying that nobody has a crystal ball. Here, as a real estate professional for over 15 years, I do have a degree in economics, so I do try to see things from as high vantage point or viewpoint as possible. So if you're interested in breaking down what this news means for you, or what the next big story in the news could mean for you and your family's future in real estate, feel free to reach out. My contact information is here, and you can reach out for a private and confidential conversation. As we get ready for 2022, I wish you and your family a lot of health, wealth, and prosperity, and I hope you make it a great one.